welcome to Live with Sujay, where our guests are all the way live and in living color. This series is Black Women Leaders, and I am so excited, ignited, and delighted to welcome Karen Broadway-Wilson, hyphenated, who is the CEO and owner of
Broadway Films.
Broadway Film. So tell me,
Yes.
because I'm so excited. One of my previous guests is doing a movie with you as well as I. And
Yes.
tell us what the latest project is.
The latest project is Tried by Fire, which is my baby, my first film, but not first project. I've been doing theater for years, and throughout COVID, about 2019, I started Tried by Fire. And
So
it's been-
tell us, can you tell us the thesis of it and when it'll be released?
Tried by Fire. My goal is to have it released next year, sometime next year. And
So
Tried
that's
by-
2023, you're hoping.
2023, yes. I'm
Mhm.
hoping for 2023. And I'm excited about it. It's there's so much involved in it. There's action, there's love, there's faith, there's hope. There's a lot about purpose and everything surrounding purpose and the press into purpose. And so a lot of the film is surrounded by a woman in leadership who deals with opposition, because people do not like the fact that she is one that just not only comes out of the box but breaks the box. Breaks the box of a lot of things that society, community says that women leaders should be this way, a woman of color should be this way. So she breaks the box, and because of this, there's a lot of opposition that comes against her, and a lot of things that are devastating. But there's a lot of hopeful things in there as well. And throughout the film, the mother brings a lot of the humor,
Yes.
and a lot of the kind of balances out the storm that the lead character goes through. It's exciting.
So one of my previous guests was Vera Moore, who
Yes.
plays the mother.
Yes, she
And so
does.
she was an actor previously, and so she brings that talent. But you also bring some new voices that are emerging into the film as well, right?
We do. Our lead character is Shanana Malkia,
Mhm.
who is international Miss USA, and she's a powerful actress as well. She's the lead character, and her voice is strong, and she's a
Yes.
strong woman, and she brings it to the set. And so you'll feel it and you see it, and between her and then we have yourself as
Well,
our
now let's talk
featured
about
as our
me.
mayor.
Mayor, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about the mayor.
Yes. I wasn't going to let you leave that out. I love that. So, I like to think there's no box at all. I'd say not only are we breaking boxes,
Mhm.
but we're going around the box and
Mhm.
breaking stained glass ceilings
Yes.
and stained glass ceilings. So it sounds like some of it's also personal. Were there experiences in your life as a Black woman leader
Yes.
that you felt you were confined or people tried to confine you?
Definitely. I felt that, being a woman of leader and being a woman also in ministry, I felt several times that that was only for men to do, or that was for only a certain type of woman to do. I've always been kind of creative and used my theatrical skills even in preaching and teaching. And so sometimes it's like it wasn't maybe traditional enough for people.
Yes.
It was too, what they say, out of the box. I call it breaking the box. You say going around the box. It wasn't in the box.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I felt some little resistance there, because I didn't do the norm. My husband was a gospel rapper. He would rap, and so it wasn't always accepted
Yes.
in the churches and
Yes.
in different arenas. It wasn't accepted in different arenas that we speak on different platforms. You could feel a resistance, that a little ego there a little bit from other people that felt like that's not where you're supposed to be.
So I remember Kirk Franklin when he came out with Stop, and they said, well,
Mhm.
your grandmama wouldn't like it. He says it wasn't for your grandmama.
Well,
Like, I'm breaking some new boxes. And so you and
Exactly.
your husband doing gospel, doing rap, doing
Yes.
preaching, pastoring.
Yes.
I'm excited with you, excited for you. So you also are in family business. You have a sister who you work with.
Yes,
Tell
yes.
us about kind of
Yes.
the family dynamics. How did you become the
Sure.
Karen that you are?
Sure, through a praying mother.
Mm.
Through a praying mother who always wanted her family to be connected and close together. She instilled a lot of vision in us, a lot of hope in us, and I believe growing up I was a drama queen.
Okay. I know a little bit about drama queens. Yeah.
I
very
would just
much
take things to the next level, so
Yeah.
But she's always encouraged the gift in us, and she's always encouraged our relationships. I believe that's why today me and my sister have a very close relationship. She's also part of my film. She's the business manager and my assistant producer. Actually, the film came about because we were having a conversation. She's like, Karen, what do you think about this idea? And she pitched the idea, and I took it, I ran with it, put all the meat and bones to it. But yes, she was a vital part of the film and still is. And I believe because our parents just pushed us to encourage one another.
And
Don't
she's a
compete
black
against
woman
one another.
designer as
She's
well.
a designer as well, and you're going to see some of her designs in the film.
Oh, wonderful.
Melba Moore is wearing one of her designs.
Yes.
You have some of her designs, so you're going to see a little bit out in the film. And so the family, my two brothers in Florida, and we're just purpose driven.
Well, I have to have her on the show as well.
Yes,
and
you do.
Dynamic women that you are. So tell us about the journey to this. I mean,
Yes.
you are a playwright first.
Yes, I'm a playwright. I started when I was real young. I would write just stories for hours in my room. I loved writing, and I didn't realize till later on that my gift was the gift of a storyteller. And I believe that's the gift that God has given me as a storyteller. So I'd be writing, and then all of a sudden I'd have skits in my backyard, and I have my friends to play different roles in these skits, and then I started elevating, and then I started doing theater in churches. Then I started doing theater, traveling, doing theater like Jamaica and doing workshops. And I was part of a group that we would travel, and my husband would do the gospel rap, and I would do the dramatic, the theater. I would teach them how to put together plays, and I would do a play there and teaching that. And my sister would be there. We were just all as a family moving. And so that's how I started, just as a little girl writing and using my friends in the backyard. And from there, just elevate when people start saying, can you come do a play for us? Can you come here? And then I did the Apollo Theater, where I wrote, produced, and I said, I'm going to do everything in this.
Wow.
I wrote, produced, acted, and everything in it. So we did
you were on
that.
the Apollo Theater stage.
Yes, we were on the Apollo Theater, and that was such an awesome experience.
Well, that's
I
an
loved
honor,
it.
first of all. Now, when I
Yeah.
was 16, there was a Miss Teenage Black America, and I won one of the talent portions, and then I was on the stage of the Apollo. You know what I prayed for?
Nice.
That the Sandman wouldn't come and take me off, because that's a hard crowd.
That is a hard.
That's a hard crowd.
Nobody wants to see a Sandman.
No.
Nobody wants to see
So I
it.
had my brother and his friend, and they were cheering me on, and I was like, nobody else is saying anything. So I did it quickly, and I got off the stage, but I didn't get booed, so that's a good thing.
That is good.
Tell us a highlight of your life, and then tell us people don't talk about failing their way to success.
Yes.
Tell us something that didn't go according to plan, and tell us a highlight of your life.
Sure. I think something that didn't go according to plan is when my mother died in 2018. That was a little hard because I wanted her to see everything that I accomplished. I always felt like, man, my mother was such a big inspiration. So when I did the Apollo Theater, she was sick. She had Alzheimer's. So I really wanted her to be able to understand and comprehend it. So it's like I'm at the Apollo Theater, have this wonderful time, yet my mom is suffering. And even it just gets me emotional because it's just like I wanted her to be able to grab it and say, this, Mom, look, this is what you wanted. I'm fulfilling the dream, the things that you encouraged me. So that was like, man, it was a happy time, Apollo Theater, but again, it was a sad time at the same time because I wanted her to really be present there.
Yes.
And she, she couldn't,
I
but I was
remember
glad to have her
touring
there.
with Bishop Jakes. It was my first tour with Bishop T.D. Jakes. Everybody's waiting for the invitation, and my mother too was very sick. She was actually in the emergency room.
Oh, wow.
And I said, Ma, I can't leave you. And she leaned up and she said, this is the moment you were prepared for.
Oh, my
You've
goodness.
got to go. So, you have those goosebump moments. And I was like, I don't want to leave, but she says to leave. She's giving me permission to release me.
Yeah.
And there are
That's
some
a mom.
times. That's a mom. That's a mom.
Mhm.
Yes. I can see you're emotional as well.
Yeah.
So tell us, beyond the Apollo, what's a highlight? Was this the dream of doing a movie?
It was my dream. From the Apollo, I did Caroline's on Broadway, did something on there, and then I just like around the time of COVID, when there was so many things going on with the Black Lives Matters, with all the political stuff, it was just like like a film it just downloaded in me, and I felt like this is what I was designed to do. This is what I was created to do. All those other things I did were leading up to this. They were preparing me. Like I said, I've always been a storyteller on different platforms, but this is the platform that this is the platform that really I had a lot of passion about. I've always loved acting. I thought acting, I was going to be an actress. I was going to, go in. I was trying out for different roles, some open, some closed. But deep down in my heart, I felt like, Karen, there's more.
Yes.
You're the one that has to create the platform for the actors. And you will still act. But I didn't realize that I would have such a greater passion to do film directing and writing and I really love it, you know.
Well, you're
I
very
really
good at
love
it
it.
quite a
Thank you.
bit.
I just have a passion for it. I just love it, you know.
I was in Boston one time, and this district attorney said there are two important moments: the moment you were born, and the moment you know what you were born to do.
So important.
So, were you born to do this?
I was born to do this without a shadow of doubt. Even if someone told me today, no, I could look on the face and say, you're lying. Because I know that I know that I know this is what I was born to do. And I know that because of that, I will succeed in that. And there's no props to me, but it's because I know what God has designed me to do. And whatever He's designed you to do, as long as you're obedient, it will prosper.
So, you talk about storytelling. That
Mhm.
you so that's how Black women leaders get where we are. We have to tell our
Yes.
stories. If we don't tell them, they won't be told.
That's right. That's
What's a
right.
story from your family, from your history that you are that's important to be told?
Wow, let's see. There's a lot. I would say, just, um, wow. There's a lot. I always go back to my parents. Just them having, just encouraging us not to give up. I just remember like going to school and coming back and so happy with all these B's on my report card. Be a few C's and just happy. My mother said, you can do better than that. You do. I was like, man, I got a B, Mom. Like, look what I did. Look, you know, you A student. Don't ever settle for something less than when you could do better.
Wow, say that again.
that's-
Don't ever settle.
For something less when you know you could do better.
I love it. I love
And
it.
that stuck with me through my whole life. I'm like, here I am. I'm going home with a B. Like, I got a couple B's, one C, but I got a couple B's. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't settle for that.
Yeah.
That's not, you could do better than that.
Don't settle at all.
Don't
Actually.
settle.
I remember at a
settle.
retreat we both were at recently, and a woman stood up and she said, "I just got $1 million contract," and I realized I'm not going to settle for anything less than $1 million. If I got this, and so I was writing this Lilly grant, and we got it for Black Women in Ministry, and we got $1 million, and then we just got $1.5 million. And I just came home because you get all of these emails from small business owners.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to compete for 5,000? Do you want to compete for 6,000? And I said, you know what? I just got $1.5 million, so I'm not going for anything less.
Go for the big boys.
Hello, big
All
boys,
the way.
big girls, and big
I know
everything.
that's right.
I said I wrote this and I received it. So it's about not settling, particularly when you know you can do better.
That's right. And that's what was instilled in me. Now, those kind of stories that my mother instilled in me, my dad, just being a professional that he was, always said, you know, excellence, you know. Even my hair, I don't have the greatest hair around, to be honest with you. But, you know, my parents always say, write neat in that, write it again.
Yes.
Do it again. You know, I was the kind of kid that you know, today, I don't know, parents just don't go over homework. But my parents were up with me doing homework. Okay, write again, do it again. No, it's not neat enough. Do it again.
My mother was a school teacher, so
Oh, so you really had a
grade
rough.
that I was in, she would teach that grade in elementary school. So they used to have the lined paper, and you had to do your script and printing first, and then when you learn script within those lines,
Oh my
I
goodness.
was like, everything's a lesson. But I am so thankful.
Aren't you grateful now?
I am so thankful because the order in my life, the focus in my life,
Yes.
the excellence.
Yes.
in my life.
I
So
feel very
recently I
well,
did a social media post and so many people responded to it. These are the beads my mother used to wear.
Oh,
And so
how
these pearls she left for me.
beautiful.
But it was just, I went to her grave last week. And a lot of people don't go from grave sites until social media. But I said, you know what? I stood there. My parents are buried together. And I just said, thank you. Thank you to God. Thank you to them for the
Yes.
lessons they gave me, for the love they gave me, and for the
Yes.
legacy they left
I
me.
was gonna say legacy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's
yes.
talk about legacy. What do you hope will be your legacy?
I hope that the movies that I put out, I'm saying movie because this is just one of them. The movies that I put out will speak life into this generation and will encourage people to go for their dreams, no matter what stage, whatever they're going through. I want to leave a legacy of empowerment that says, don't ever give up. You can do it, no matter against all odds. Color, race, female, you can do it, because there's so many things going against women in leadership and women entrepreneurs. I want to leave a legacy that says to that little girl or that female, I'm going to do it. I might come from poverty. I might come from, you know, a divorced family or this, but I can do it. I'm going to put my mind to it. I'm going to do it. You can do anything, because I think sometimes media has a way of crippling people in their dreams, because it only shows you a certain type of woman that is successful, or it has to be this way, that way. Listen, everyone has a different formula.
Exactly. And
But
a
stick with your-
format.
in the format. It is not for everybody, you know.
Exactly.
But there's something that was specifically for you. go for you. Don't compare yourself to nobody.
Exactly.
Because what is for you is for you. Stay in your lane.
You are an
Do what you-
original.
That's it.
Exactly.
Try to be a copy. None of that.
They can't duplicate you, can't replicate you.
Yes.
Just be an original.
That's it.
So let's talk about this. You know, so many people, that's what the Global Black Women's Chamber of Commerce, one of the sponsors for this, is about. It's about bringing black business women together, whatever field, so that we can just say, go for it, don't give
That's
up.
it.
I saw this card recently that said, dreams don't have an expiration date.
I love it. Yeah.
So there's no age limit, there's no time limit,
That's
there's no
it.
geographic limit.
That's
So on top of this dream, what's the big dream?
On top of this, the big dream is I want my movies to reach international. I want people to be unified. I want there to be a unified voice that says that that we are women are important, and what we stand for and what we bring to the table. We need our voices to be heard because they're not always heard. So I believe that making movies internationally is going to speak even to some women in those other countries in Africa that I visited who don't have a voice.
Yes.
Who don't have who can't say that they want to go out and do what they want to do or go for their dreams. They don't, their dreams have been crippled. And I want this message to go out internationally to places in Africa that people don't hear about, I remember going to a trip in Africa, and I went to this place in West Africa, and we got there, we're like, we're so glad you came, because we thought everybody forgot about us. It was way in it was really like in a desert area, you know. But these women, they had no voice. They had, their dreams have been diminished and overlooked.
Yes.
And I want all women to understand that there's a purpose in your life.
Definitely.
And you have a great calling on your life, and don't ever give up on it. So the bigger dream is that I really want that seed to go out and to let them to also know how much God loves them.
Right.
And that He's called them to greatness, and you can do something great.
So my dream for your movie is I'm going to be on the red carpet.
Okay.
And the greatest supporting actress of Tried by
Okay.
Fire.
Okay. Excuse me.
So
All
I'm
right.
holding up my Oscar. That's one of my dreams.
Well, that's all. I should put that in there too.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oscars, and definitely, I really see that. I see that. You know, and actually, someone told me I see this going to the Oscars. I'm like, okay, I'm with you. Okay, you have to tell me but
Mayor
once.
Cook is
You
there.
don't tell me once.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Tell us about your family.
I love my family. I have two brothers. They're in Florida. My sister's here, and my parents are both deceased. And we just got back over Saturday night because we were with family in Miami. We all came together. We were at the beach talking and fellowshipping, and just beautiful. We are all, I must say, I think all of them, my sister and my two brothers, they're all leaders, you know, and they're all doing things that have not been done before. You know, my brother is in Claremont, and he's the first black chief of police. And,
Oh my goodness.
and the other one just won $1 million grant for housing in Florida. He's basically owns all. He's just taken on Florida. My sister's entrepreneur, fashion designer. You know, breaking boxes, going places, and and we just stay connected. We just all love each other and all support and encourage each other. You know,
That's awesome.
Sometimes you hear about sibling bickering and stuff like that. One thing my mother said is that she never wanted us to compete against each other.
Right.
She never favored any of us because she always wanted us to have the same love for everyone.
Yes.
But she never said, oh, this one's going to do great and that one's not. She said, She's like, I don't want that.
Exactly.
So we've learned from that to encourage one another.
Right.
And we support each other, you know.
Are there children in the families? Grandkids, nieces, nephews?
We have, all of that in there. Yes.
Okay.
All of that
Yeah,
there,
I love it. So there's another generation of creativity coming
that
up.
we're pouring into and sowing into so that they can understand who they are and do great things and not be limited by the system or society. But sometimes you got to break that box, go around that box, and make your own way. And that's what we call trailblazers. I believe my family's full of trailblazers.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I said A plus B plus C equals success. What's your A? What's your B? What's your C? What do you have to have? This is for Black women leaders on this series. What do you have to have to make it?
Faith in God.
Faith
and determination.
and determination.
Yeah, that equals success. Yeah, you
Okay.
have to. Yeah, I've noticed that I couldn't do anything without God, and then without determination, you got to keep hitting something until it breaks. You know, sometimes it's hard. Like, you know, it's hard at 1st. You know, when you hit anything hard, it's hard. You got to keep going for it. You know, there are times where you're gonna get discouraged.
Yes.
There's a time you're like, man, I'm here by myself. It's like, is this like, you're gonna be like, where's the money at? Like, where's you like, oh Lord, but it's like, God, keep pressing, keep going. And it's in spite of what you feel. You know, a lot of times this generation, you know, they start feeling something. It's like, I don't feel good, so I ain't do it. No, we don't feel good. We keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Headache, take a Tylenol, keep going, keep moving. Foot hurt, pick that foot up, keep on moving. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You gotta keep moving. It's determination. It's all about keeping going. Keep striving, keep pressing,
Exactly.
keep pushing on doors, keep knocking doors, keep talking to people, keep moving.
Yes.
Don't ever stop.
I love it.
We
I
gotta
love it.
keep on going, because it's like, if there's a dream inside of you, you have to nurture it, else it will die.
Definitely,
Nurture it.
definitely. So, what is the nurturing of your dream? What is what's the water you have to pour on it? What's the soil you have to put in it?
Yeah.
Do you surround yourself with people who are also
Yes.
going places?
Definitely, you have to learn from other people, and you have to humble yourself, because there are people that might have been in this thing for 30 years or 40 years. You know, I love talking to the 70-year-olds and I don't know.
Yes.
I just love the senior generation.
Yes.
I just love them. They have so much wisdom. You know, you have to surround yourself with people wisdom,
Yes.
people that could pray for you, and people that have knowledge that you might not even have. Sometimes we don't admit that we don't know stuff. You know.
Yes.
But
yes.
it's like, surround yourself with people who might have more knowledge than you.
Yes.
Who've been in it a little longer than you. Surround yourself with those people. Surround yourself, and always, always, always be a student.
Yes.
Always be a student. Don't ever think that we know it all. You know, I'm always looking online at this. Okay, how could I better this? How could I shape this? How can I do better? How can I sharpen? Honing my skills.
Yes.
Gotta
yes.
hone your skills. So that means I gotta keep writing. I gotta keep reading. I have to keep looking at things. I have to look at other movies and see, okay, wow, I could pull that from there. I like
Yes,
that. Or,
yes.
oh, I don't want to do that, so I gotta do this. You know, always learning, staying a student all the time, and being humble.
And having rehearsals. I mean, because we don't get it right the first time.
That's it.
Do
We
it
keep doing
again.
do
We're
it
taking this from
again.
the top, and we're like,
That's
oh, okay.
it.
But it
We
makes a
gotta
good
do it.
movie.
It
So, you know, I'm from a beach town, Azure Rest, in the village of Sag
Yeah.
Harbor. And some of our greatest lessons are sitting on the beach with our elders
I
and
love
just
that.
learning the history. We're going to be celebrating our 75th anniversary of Azure Rest
That is
this
awesome.
summer, 2022. And we're going to have a big celebration, but it was founded by a black woman leader, Maud Terry.
Awesome.
And so to
Yeah.
be in the midst of these people who have been here for 3 and 4 and 5 generations, and to just sit on the beach in the sand and just to
love that.
hear their stories. Again, back to our storytelling, you know. But the other piece is you have to have some downtime.
You
So the
do.
beach is my place. Give me water, give
Yes.
me the beach. What do you do
Yes.
for boundaries?
For the downtime, I love the beach too. You know, we came up from Miami Beach, and then I went to Virgin Islands, St. Croix, the islands. So I love the beach. That's my downtime, being near the water, and I love music.
Okay.
I sing as well.
Okay.
So I love music. Just sit in the presence of music, listen to music. That's my downtown.
What's
Just
your
listen to
favorite
rap
genre?
music.
I'm a Motown girl.
Okay, you like Motown?
What?
Okay.
I grew up with all of them. Diana, you know, Stop in the Name of Love. Before You Break My Heart. I mean, so, you know, I'm Diana, of course. When we
Okay.
acted out, Diana Ross right here. But
Okay.
what's your genre, your favorite?
My favorite genre, well, I love gospel worship music.
Okay.
It takes me to a place where I can just a place to surrender, and it just, man, I just can think. God downloads ideas in me. That's that. You know, I just love that worship, that slow music that just sets the atmosphere for me, and it just lifts me.
Yes.
And it's like the sun coming in and just kind of illuminates you.
Yes.
And then you're able to even see clearer the ideas and the messages that you need to push out of you via storytelling, speaking, whatever. It just, that's, you know. And then second to that, I am a big Diana Ross fan too.
Okay, all right, all
I'm a
right.
big Diana Ross fan too.
Yes. Smokey
Yeah.
Robinson, Diana Ross, and I grew up with the Jackson 5. So, you know,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson and Tito, and I was
Yeah.
going to marry Jermaine. He didn't know
my
it, but I, you know, that was
goodness,
the generation.
But Patty's in there too. Now, I like some Patty
Patty
Bell.
Yeah, and you resemble her, actually. Do
I
people
get
tell you
that
that?
all of the time.
Yes.
I went to Jamaica and someone said, "Miss, excuse me, you look like
Miss LaBelle there, you know.
all the time."
So, you know, in New York, a lot of people don't talk about their faith openly. Like, you
Right.
go to D.C. and South, and people openly, they're like, what's your name, where do you work, and what church do you go to? But in New York, so tell us about your faith. You're a leader of a congregation?
Yes, my sister and I pastor a church. But our focus has been outreach. We're known, like in the community, I would say, for outreach outside of the four walls. We've done a lot of evangelistic outreaches. I mean, we've had like outreaches with one of the, I believe he's he's a manager of football coach, and he came and we did like a Thanksgiving outreach with them. We've done basketball tournaments to reach the young people. So we had a professional basketball player to come in and to play with the youth of a disadvantaged neighborhood.
Wow. What's the name of your congregation?
We're called Bridges Worldwide Ministries.
And where are you located?
We're located in Lindenhurst.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So it's fun.
So, if there were one thought that you would want to make sure people knew about you, or one word you would describe yourself. So, Maya Angelou talks about being phenomenal.
Yeah.
Is there a word that captures the essence of who you are?
Yes, I would say it would be. Oh, there's a couple. Let's say. I would say outstanding.
Outstanding. Say that again.
Outstanding.
And that means you stand out
Exactly.
wherever you are.
Because I never want to sit on what God has given me, so I have to stand out.
Okay.
So I say outstanding.
So there's a friend of mine, Audrey Smalls, who said, when I come into the room, that's when the party begins. So when you come into the room, what happens?
Yeah, I'm not like a loud person. Like there's some people that, but I believe that when I come into a room, I want people to understand that there's a woman of purpose in the room, and that I'm also a good listener.
Yes.
You know, I love to listen. I love to hear people talk, and I love people.
Yeah, I'm working with a group of mentees, and I say, listen before you speak, listen more than you speak.
Yes.
So that you can hear what the message is. You coming from left field, and we in right field. We want to make sure that you understand that. But I want to thank you. How can people find you? What's the best website? Or
you can reach out to me at Broadway Films, Broadway-Films.com, and that's where you can find me. And then I'm on Facebook too, Twitter. You can also follow it.
All right, so that's Karen Broadway-Wilson.
Correct.
And it's Broadway Films.
Correct.
And we thank you for sharing with us. You can find me on globalblackwomencc.org or charismaspeakers.com. Either place, you can just find me. I'm Dr. Sujay, and we're so delighted that you shared this time with us. Live with Sujay. Stay tuned for many, many more. This is a series on Black women leaders. We've had Karen Broadway-Wilson, and most of all, we've had you. Thank you for listening and sharing with us today.